All right, welcome everyone. This is a Viper Professional Training and Support webinar. Today's date is December 2nd, 2015. This is a Wednesday night webinar. And the title of tonight's webinar is Let's Talk About Viper Predictor and Trade Setups. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or our live trading rooms, everything that we say and do at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, Forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk, therefore there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar. Other webinars we might have, our trading room or anything else with Viper Trading Systems should ever be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Hey Hardy, on your question, no, this is actually my daughter that's having this last granddaughter of ours, at least last for now anyway. And Chris asks, how many kids do I have? I actually have two. I've got a son and a daughter. And my son is, let's see, gosh, he's 37, and my daughter is, she'll be 35 this year. All right. All right, let's go ahead and go to a chart because I want to show you tonight, again, like we try to do in every single webinar, how to look at your charts to trade your charts. Okay, and it's extremely important that we look at our charts to trade our charts, right? Notice how these ellipses do quite well, by the way. You know, let's just go back here for just a second. All right, let's just pretend you got up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're seeing this right here. Well, you don't want to chase the trade, right? But watch it come right into that ellipse, rollover bar, you're in, and you get a nice trade. That's that Viper predictor that's actually predicting these swings. And really, it's looking back at the swings is what it's doing, right? It's also looking at this dynamic trend and also some fibs and things. So it's a nice little indicator. I think everybody's going to like it quite well. If you don't like the bubbles on your chart, take them off. It's that easy. Okay, if you want them back on, just show them again. Okay. Now, what I like to do when I'm analyzing my charts, because I didn't get any of this, and I wouldn't even get it at this time of night, but just to be fair, since we didn't trade this today, I want to just, I basically ramped this over to about 6 o'clock in the morning before I get up, and we'll just analyze the trade setup, okay? Because the trade setup is extremely important to diagnose your chart, okay? Now, we've done a lot of that in our indicators, but I want to show you how you can do it in your mind also and in writing on your chart. Now, this is what I see in my mind when I look at this particular chart. I don't go back a whole long ways because I see a swing here, swing here, swing here, swing here, barely takes out that high. I don't count that swing on the longer term. I don't even count this one. I count this one. Okay, does everybody see why on that? That's that secondary swing we talk about a lot. Okay, because when they take out these swings by a lot, you know, say from 1204.50 all the way up here to, was that close to 1206.50 or so? Right, and then they pull back right into support. Now, if you were up in the middle of the night and you saw this, you could definitely trade this, right? Get you a nice little trade. Okay, the right now though, what we're looking at is what? Well, we're looking at them coming down and testing here because they've already tested here, and this lightning is heading down right now. Now, keep in mind that you can trade with Object Trader even against the trend, okay? Because we do this boxing in all the time in the room, okay? And I do see a high, a low on my micro chart, a high, another low. So this is basically my swing right across here. If this is going to continue going up, it needs to at least take that out. And then I would expect it to get all the way up to here at least, and probably higher. I'd draw a trend line, even like so. And that's pretty much where I'd expect it to go if it broke here. If it breaks under here, like right where it's at, you know, see, you've got a pretty good swing right there, and it's already breaking it a little bit. So right now my bar's above this just a little bit. So I could actually put a region in here, couldn't I? And I could do it like this. Insert. bring that up here like that, and bring this right across here where my little box would be, okay? Now, one thing I want to caution you about drawing these boxes extremely tight, be sure and know that you're on the correct side. You know, for instance, if you've got a high, a low, lower high, and lower low, your lightning is actually heading down right now. Be very careful boxing in this little bitty swing here because it's not identified. This one is. Everybody sees that, right? Talked about identified swings last week quite a bit. If we need to go over it, I certainly will. High, low, lower high, little lower low, that's your identified swing right across there. All right. Now, this is an identified swing over here too, isn't it? Okay, at least on a little ratchet up. So we're expecting if this breaks this, it'll head down and probably test 1203. And if it breaks this here, it'll probably test 1206.80. Okay, so that's what I kind of see on that chart. And what you want to do, just in case, you want to go ahead and get a scalp out of the way. Okay, now it depends what you want to really go for. I know my son, when he trades, he likes to go for 8 like this, and then he'll go for like 15 on his runner, his second set of contracts. And then he can move his target if he sees it's really, you know, pounding it or something like that. Okay, that's pretty much what he uses right there. 5 is a little bit too close in my opinion, because 5, by the time you even get a trade, you usually get your 5 ticks in a heartbeat. And you know, $50 is not a lot of money, especially if you happen to get stopped out on the rest of it all, right? Okay, so this is what I would actually do with this particular trade. I've diagnosed my chart. I see that I've got a swing here. They have broken it a little bit, but that could easily bounce right here. Okay, you could also draw a trend line, something like that. If it breaks that trend line with a close, you could always use the ray instead, right? Okay, and let's just see if we can get us a little trade. We'll go ahead and turn Object Trader on, and we will let it go about 3 times normal speed. Now I want to show you something you also want to do too, though. You want to be ready to take this trade when it bounces off support. Let me go ahead and set this up with 2 charts so we can see it real quick. Now, I also see that this is my a priori. Now look at your chart and diagnose it. Let's go ahead and go back and look at this chart, and I'll show you the diagnosis of it. All right, what we see so far, we'll draw a line right here. All right, and I look back and I say, well, wait a minute. They hit a pretty good little swing there at 1203.50. Okay, so if they do break this, where's our next swing down looking to the left to trade the right? It's right here at 1203. See that a priori? Okay, and then we've got another one right down here on an a priori at 1202.30. Okay, that's a little lower than Phantom, so this is more than likely the one that's going to bounce off of. So couldn't I be ready on another chart? You could even do 3, whatever we want to do, right? It's our charts. We'll go something like this right here, and I'll go ahead and get this out of the way because we don't really want a breakout trade on this chart, right? We're looking for a bounce off of this bottom right here. So we'll turn this one on. All right, and then let's go back like this. All right, and that's the way you can actually set up your charts ready to trade. And of course, this one here will go 3 and do 8 on it, and 15. And we'll just turn those off. We'll do 2 at this and 1 at this at that particular setting right there. All right, so we're ready to go, aren't we? We've got our charts diagnosed. We expect if it's going to bounce, it needs to bounce here. That was a high, a low, much higher high. All right, we did get filled on this one. All right, now, right now, until this forms my lightning, I can't put my stop here because they'll more than likely take you out if you do. All right, we've got to let it close below this lightning so that we can actually get a swing identified. Everybody knows what I mean by identified still, right? All right, let's watch it. One thing about picking it at night, it is pretty slow, but that's okay. It's the fair way to do it. And then we'll go over some of the trades that were called in the room today, as we all know that was quite choppy. But I want to show you how to use those ellipses with Predictor to make some pretty good trades. Going about 15 times. All right, now I would go ahead and turn off by simply hitting Insert to get rid of the region if you want to. You know, you don't really need it again right now. And as soon as that bar closes, we'll have a lightning swing. That's going to be right here. And boy, did I pick a slow time. I'm going 15 times normal speed. Now that's 20. So it was really slow that time of night, wasn't it? Doesn't matter how slow it is, though. You can still trade this way. It just takes longer. All right, now that's closed below there. So couldn't I tighten this like this right here? See that swing right there? If they're close together like this, I always go with the one right back to the back. All right, let's go ahead and take our profit at 03. Whoop. Did I move that? Let's go with 03. Just so we know we'll get our profit, or we can also, of course, go with one contract way down. We don't know how far this is going to drop. If it breaks 03, it could go to 1202.30. And that's one of our targets right there. 1202.90. See what we're getting here. Now, as soon as this closes below here, we can, guess what? We can put our stop just above here. See how that's trying to close below it? Can always do that. Now, it didn't close there yet. It might. Let's see if it will. It's definitely hitting our 1203. That's good enough. That closed, so my stop's right there. Now let's go see if our other chart got filled. It sure did. See that? It got filled. That's a phantom trade. Now this one's more than likely, if this one works, this one's going to get stopped out, isn't it? I can even put it on an exit on close if I want to, but I'm going to give up some of it with this because obviously if it takes this out, this bar's got to close. Just wicking it so far. Still wicking it. All right, as soon as this closes above this little swing here, I'll go ahead and get rid of this region. As soon as it closes above this little swing, we'll go ahead and bring our stop just under here. And as soon as it makes a little lightning type swing, we'll go ahead and put our stop there. Now we don't know where this is going, right? Okay, so we've got one. Now this is resistance right here though. Remember we broke that. So be very careful if it hits its head here because that is resistance. A little lightning right there. Now this chart's flat over here. What if we were to look at this, diagnose our chart? We've got a 1, 2, 3. Could that be a trend change if it hits its head right across here? See that swing? Now we don't know because this is blue right here if this is, but you see how that just rolled over right there? Just like we thought it would. Well, now it's too late to get in it, isn't it? So we're going to have to wait for a little bit of lightning to form for us. Okay, so far we're still heading up. Our stop would be right under here. That closes below this little swing right here. I'm going to go ahead and sell it. Matter of fact, I'm going to sell one if it hits that line again and rolls. If it takes out this little swing right across here, that would be our lightning swing, wouldn't it? I'll go ahead and short it. Again, I could use sniper. We can go ahead and wait for the bar to actually close if we want to. Everybody see how you could do this? Look at this. We're actually long on one chart because it did a phantom. All right. Right now, this looks to me like if it takes out this swing, we're going to get stopped out. So you might want to put your stop right there. It's hit resistance like 3 times. Right across there. Okay. It looks like we did just get stopped out. Okay. There's us another trade. We just took out our swing right there, didn't we? And then we'll ride this with what? Lightning. Stop wouldn't be way up there, would it? It'd be right here. Let me get rid of lightning. Let's watch lightning really, really close. Now let's see what we run into in the case of ellipses and things now too. This chart doesn't have ellipses on it, does it? What in the world? There we go. All right, we're right at an ellipse right here, so, well, it's kind of taking it out, so we're okay. Stop's still here. Now, let me ask you a question real quick. Diagnosing this chart, looking to the left to trade the right, where would you think your next trade is on this chart? And if some of you get it, don't look at your charts or anything. Can you tell where the next trade is on this chart? If resistance was here, and we kind of nailed that one, right? Okay. And resistance is here. Probably ought to put a square around it actually so we can see it like that. And resistance is here, right? Right. Let's see. Resistance here. Resistance would be right here, right? Okay. So what I like to do on my charts is I draw lines on my chart. And I'm going to watch it and see if we can get us a little trade at one of those resistance areas. Now we've got even a downtrend, so we're good to go, aren't we? And our stop would be here. If it comes up to 1202.70, I'm going to short it on a rollover. Or if it goes to the next level, which would be 1203.50, that's your 2 swings right there. Now, a lot of times I see that they go for the secondary one. And if you look here, this swing is really close to this right here where they broke down. So if you look to the left to trade the right, that's also where it could hit its head. See it right there? 1203.30. See if we can take this down a little bit further. This is going pretty good. Still our stop's right here because that's our identified swing. As soon as it closes below here, this will be our identified swing. It's good enough. Pretty good little trade so far, huh? Yeah, I just missed getting out. See, that was actually 2 bars up. That's okay. We'll turn it on again. Bar close up. Now we'll just leave our stop. That's good enough. We'll bring it down here now. Tighten it up just in case. See how that barely took out that low right there? When they do that, that makes me very nervous if they're going to stay with my trade. Okay, we're out of the trade. And by the way, if you box in, you could literally go long. Look at that though. Came right up to our 1203.30, right where we drew our line at. Now, would that have been a decent trade? I just missed it because I've got it going 30 times, 20 times. I think I'll still take it. See how it just came up and tried to kiss 1202.70? First target's going to be at the ellipse. See how that hit perfectly though? If you diagnose your charts, you draw on your charts and you'll find that they will come back to where they've been. Now we're going to bring our stop right across there. Okay, we could ride our runner, right? What if we decided to do something like this? Did not want it there. That's okay. We'll take it because I hit, oh, I know what it was. I've got it set for both. Just a second. I had it set on bar close, not sniper. That's okay. We've only got one. We'll take another one if it takes out that lightning swing. We'll try to get up to here. Now keep in mind, this is a little bit counter trend right here. Okay, that flattened it out because of the bar close. Okay. And that was decent though. It got us a little something. We'll try it one more time to get right up to here. It got right where I thought it would. Should have taken my coin, shouldn't I? Where's our secondary resistance? Is right up here. And if they're going to continue down, that pretty much needs to hold that 1204.50, doesn't it? Now I actually remember this trade. We actually took this trade in the room on a short. Remember that when it broke this little swing here, or when it came up to mid-band right here? So let's be fair about it. We'll go ahead and take it. All right, we're short. But remember what I said in the room live? I said that if it doesn't take out 1204.50, we're still heading down. Now that's a 19 tick stop, but that's my lightning swing too. But you could do that without doing like 3 contracts. Draw your line. Look at that ellipse right there. It's telling us that they should go right up to this ellipse. So I'm going to go ahead and short this ellipse on this chart. Didn't get it set up in time. That's good for me though. See it hit the ellipse. Put my stop nice and tight. Because this is still a downtrend, remember? And we got that trade. I think everybody remembers that one because we definitely did feel some heat on this one, or you got out of it and back in it either way. You know, if you were one and you got a scalp, then you look again and you try because you're looking at mid bands and you're looking at these line 6s and these ellipses. See how there's your swing? That's awful close. Now, could you also trade this with lightning? For instance, if you weren't already in 3, let's just take 2 of them off for the fun of it. But let's go ahead and go in if it takes out this little swing right across here. That's our lightning swing. Couldn't we be ready for that with a market order even like that? See where it took out the swing? And then I'll just go ahead and write it. And this is where it broke out. Thrust retrace, got another one right here. I got this going 20 times, by the way. So we're having to analyze this pretty quick. And you definitely got some support at 1201.20 also, don't you? We'll bring our stop just above mid-band. And guess what's right there on our chart right there? That's an ellipse. That's telling us that that trade should hit its head right here. That's also our Band-Aid from the open, remember it? That's good enough for lightning to me. If they take it out, they take it out. We'll see if we can get in it. Who said long? Not yet. We'll do it with lightning if you want. Let's see if we can get a trade with lightning. That's a little high, low, higher, high right there. This is our lightning swing right here, though. The only way I'd take that is if it breaks that lightning swing to the upside with the close of the bar. Let's see if it does, because that could be another short right there. See it? Just a quick little short. See why? It was at lightning. Got another swing down here at 12:01:20. See if we can get that. Stop's going to be just above the swing, like that. That's our lightning swing, though. Could we actually be ready to box this in and take it? Because that's also where we called it this morning in the room, remember? And why did we take that trade right there? Because that's lightning. And if it takes that swing out right there, and that's also our opening band, we'll take it. Remember where it just flopped around a little bit this morning? Still flopping. See it right there? All right. Where's this one heading? Where do you think? Well, we've got a target right up here at the swing. We'll adjust it to lightning where support is anyway. There, you just got you another trade. All right, let's slow it down for a minute because I can't hardly trade it at 20 times. Let's see what we got here. It's a phantom trade, but we're going to be really tight on it just in case. And where do you think this one's coming? We called that in the room this morning too. You remember it? Called it out at mid-band. That's that phantom trade we were talking about. And I can tell by looking at this chart, and we diagnosed this in real time in the room too. See this thrust retrace, little pop, double bottom? That's your support level right across here where it busted out. Okay, that's where we took the long. So couldn't you actually protect your coin when it gets down there? And of course, if it was to get further than that, well, actually this one should even get down there. Let's just move this one like down into this area right here. Because when they thrust up like that and there's no place for them to go, they should pull back at least to support. And your support level is right across there. We've talked about this 100 times probably. When they make these bars go straight up, straight up, straight up, and then they roll over, they're coming back down to here, at least. Okay, then you've got to draw two lines because this is where support is, right here where that line is, and that's where support is right there also. And then you look to the left to trade the right and you go, well, wait a minute, I see an a priori swing there too, right here at 12:01:50. Everybody see that? You see an a priori at 12:01:50? Let's see, we should have taken some profit probably. That's all right. I'm going to go ahead and go, if it takes out this support right across here. Like that. Exit on close just in case. Because I'm not dead sure this isn't going to just pop up. But it is still a downtrend with platinum, so we're looking for shorts. Doesn't mean you can't take longs out of these boxes though. And here's our ellipse telling us where this trade should go. So I'll put one target there at my ellipse. And then ride the runner. Everybody see how you can use these ellipses and also these swings in your everyday trading? Because these markets are continually going with a trend, a micro trend, a medium trend, and a longer term trend. You can definitely trade against the trend if you break lightning. Okay, you can also trade against the trend at the opens of the markets and news events. Most of the time though, you want to be a little more cautious when the trend is different than what you're trading. You got to really watch it then. You know, don't let them whipsaw you around or something like that. But, you know, clearly look at the support areas and things like that. If, you know, if they're going to bounce, to give an example, then, you know, go ahead and pop it again. You know, this, for instance, looks like it could be a trend change, or we're in kind of a menage right now, aren't we? Like, I see support down here around 1201.50, and I see resistance right around this 1204.30. Okay. And you could easily short the top. We drew the lines in the room this morning, and you could definitely buy the bottoms, couldn't you? You know, see if it works. We drew these lines in the room for a reason, and this type of trading does work. But you've got to get it as it comes right down to your support levels. You know, just don't hesitate. And watch and see how they'll bounce right off those ellipses too. Let's see if we can get another one. Okay, here's support over here on this chart. And here's support over here on this chart too, like so. See if we can get us to trade. And like I said, by the way, you could do this on Lightning. You don't have to just say, I'm just going to buy support. You know, you can take these little lightning swings too. Watch and see if we can't get a decent little trade by just simply taking a little boxed in trade. Please expand vertically, David. Bear with me a second. You mean like this right here on both charts? You want to also do it like that so we can see a little bit better too? Something like that. Okay. Who wants to just try it with just the lightning? You want to just try a trade with just the lightning? See if we can get it? I'll do that with you. Let's just get rid of some lines. Let's draw our lightning. There's our lightning swing right now. That's right where it's at this very moment. Doesn't mean it's going to be there in a few moments because lightning changes, right? We're coming down to support. We're right at our little ellipse. We'd definitely be bringing our stop down, right? That's lightning. Thrust, retrace, thrust. You expect a higher low than that. Let's see what a trend line will do. I'd be tempted to take it on that trend line myself, but if you want to do it with lightning, we'll go ahead and just absolutely do it with lightning. And that's if we get out of our shorts. Can't take out lightning if it's going to stay going down, right? Did we move our stop? No, must be up here. Oh, we moved it over here. Sorry about that. We didn't move it on this chart. Don't forget to do that in real time because that stop was way up there. You don't want that. Now it's below support right here. See where this line is? Now if this bar closes down, this is something you can really watch your charts with, but if they've broken support, they really shouldn't close back above it, but we really need to take the swing out to be sure. So you don't want to really tighten your stop just yet. Because see, we've only got one left on each trade to begin with. See why you didn't want to do it then? You get stopped out. We expect a lower high if they're going to head down. Didn't take out my high. See why I did that, right? High, low, lower high, lower low. I expect a lower high. Came within a couple of ticks, so I sold a bar close. Slow. Let's go ahead and speed it up a little bit. Does everybody see how you can use to diagnose your charts though, to where you can tell where these trades should go? Okay, now I'd put my stop exit on close on this one. I don't like to get wigged. Now, as soon as it pops below this little swing, we'll lower our stop to right here at that swing right there, like that. Okay, so where is lightning right now? Well, it's at 1203.50. It won't stay there though. I'm speeding it up about 15 times so we can see it. Hadn't closed below that, but you could always tighten it just in case because it's really close to that trend line. If it touches that trend line, I'm going to reverse this trade right here. This one we're going to do the lightning on. See why I reversed that? I'd put my stop nice and tight just in case that reverse was a stupid mistake. But you'd almost have to put it underneath the swing at least. See the swing right there? I'm going to put my stop just under that swing like that. Haven't scalped it yet, so I can't take that tight of a stop like we're at right now. Now, if they take lightning out, guess what we're going to do over here? Where's our lightning swing right this very second, right now, on this chart? It's right there. We'll do a bar close. It took it out. And we don't want it to take out the low right here. And our lightning swing is right across here. Well, we just got it with the bar close. But if you want to do it with lightning swing, do it this way also. Put your little box around it. That's already done it. You can see where the box would have worked though. There's a target right there at 12:04:30, and there's a target right up here at 12:05:20. And if I remember right in the room, we said to fade this a few ticks too. And our stop, of course, would be, see how that's thrust up? It should hold on that support right there with the exit on close. Where's lightning again on this chart? Isn't lightning right there? I'm going to turn this on for, whoop, don't want long. Short outside. Close. We'll go ahead and get this out of the way. We just got us a second one. And lightning was actually even a little bit higher up because see how that went and popped up here? Your lightning was actually right here. If I wasn't going 20 times normal speed, you could have popped it right there underneath that swing. See how it hit resistance? That's the best way I know of absolutely to trade this, okay? Now look over at this chart right here and tell me where support and resistance is. You got resistance right up here. You got support right down here. We got a chart that's actually short, but couldn't you buy long if it comes down here to support? And couldn't you also even, if you wanted to, you could actually short right up here. But let's go ahead and just do this since we're already short on this chart. We'll go ahead and try to trade this from resistance to support. See if we can get that long trade right there at the bottom. I'll do even 3 just in case we missed it a little bit. Also see where that ellipse is that I'm looking for? I expect to get a little bounce off that ellipse. See, it's already clearly told us we're going sideways. Look at your ellipses. You want to see if we can buy it right down here? Now, I like to look at these ellipses, but I also look to the left and I see an a priori swing right there. So I would fade that a couple, 3 ticks to see if we could get it and then see if we can go ahead and nail that trade too. Time and time again, these ellipses are going to work out for you. You want to just trade the ellipses for a few minutes? That's what the webinar was about, was Viper Predictor. Let's try that. Let's just see. If it comes down to the ellipse, not until it does. That one actually did though, didn't it? Came right down to the ellipse. I think that's all we're going to get on that one. See, it bounced. If you draw a line on top of that ellipse, it hit it. So we missed that trade. See there? That's all right. If we miss it, guess where it's coming next? I haven't checked this a priori yet, and we've got ours down here for that. See if we can get down to that low. Whoops, I had region set. Doggone it. There we go. See if we can get down to that bottom. Trading in a range. Lightning swings up there where my stop is. Have not gotten a scalp yet. It is under our Band-Aid, by the way, too. That's getting pretty good. Let's see if we can get down there. Remember where we had these lines drawn in the room this morning? That's exactly where support and resistance was, and it was pretty clear to see. Now, if it blows through this, it's not going to fill this with Object Trader because it's going to have to come within 3 ticks of that and pop up. Okay, if it just starts shooting down through it, it shouldn't fill it. Now, one way you can do on this also, if they don't come down to your ellipse, always look to those a priori swings because they're pretty powerful. There we got our long, by the way. Now, when I get a long on one chart, I start really watching another chart to make sure that I either get my target. There we got it, so we're fine. Just bounced off support. Put a really tight stop just in case. See why we bought that support right there? Because it's range bound. That's one of the reasons we developed Viper Object Trader and those regions is so that you can actually take these type of trades like this. Do I wait for the bar to close, John R? It depends, what you're looking at. I like to watch the levels myself, and I like to take these lightning swings are really good. You want to see how to take it again? I'll show you how to do even micro trading just real quick, because even on the micro side, what do you see right here? You see a little region, right? What do you want to bet that pops up and pulls back and kisses that exact region right there? You think it will? We'll find out. It's kissing it. See there how they do that? Take out. Now that's not really what you'd consider a counter trend trade either, because this is absolutely range bound, isn't it? But that's another way to get these little pop up and then pulls back for a trade too, right? You'll find that those type of trades will work quite well also. Now, where is resistance on this chart right this very moment? Well, you got an a priori right there at 1203.70. Everybody sees that? Just hit resistance. Why did I do that? Because you're also trading your micro trend, and that hit resistance right across there. And I expect it to actually come down and check another level of support. Now, I definitely would bring my stop as soon as I get my scalp. You could put it right there with the close of the bar since that's a wick. Remember the trade we also called on crude oil this morning based on inventory? You can do the same thing with those micro swings and everything with crude oil too. And you want to see a little cleaner chart on this choppy stuff right here? That's the whole idea of putting out these new Renko bars. Let me show it to you real quick. Bear with me a second. I don't have a chart set up with it just yet. Let's see, we want TF, so we're on the same one to be fair. Pretty clean, isn't it? See where by 8:49 in the morning you could literally draw those lines? And then across here. See how close that one came? Down. This one came right to resistance. Look at that. Beautiful trade, by the way. Where do you think it's going to hit its head again? What do you think? Let's look and see. We've got resistance right up here. We've got resistance right up here they haven't checked yet. That's our ellipse right there. So you want to short the ellipse? Hopefully I'm fast enough. Let's try it with a bar close on a Renko. A little bit larger bars. Does everybody know how Renko actually works? Does everybody know how they draw those blocks? Because if anybody doesn't take the time to explain, okay, not everybody does. All right, what a Renko actually does is they're like blocks, okay? And they're in whatever size you put them in. Like right now, we've got this on a 2 and a 4. Let me show you an actual Renko chart and I'll explain how it works, and then I'll explain how the Viper Renkos are going to work. Okay, the way this works, if you notice here, now this is an actual Renko chart, no wicks. Okay, this isn't like ours. Now see how this is actually showing a larger bar? If this closes 4 ticks below here, this bar is going to start right here. This will disappear. Watch it. Now ours will be wicked. See if it does it. I'll speed it up a little bit. Okay, now that one started on top. So now what it would have to do, if this comes up and then doesn't take 4 ticks above this top here, then it has to close. See how that disappeared where it was higher? Now it has to actually be even with that one at 4 ticks, and then it'll start another bar. See how this disappears? That's what I don't like about the true Renkos. See what I mean? Right here, you don't get those wicks because you noticed the bar was all the way down here, but it's gone. Now, if it closes right here, it'll go ahead and fill the bar. Watch it. Hadn't done it yet. Or it'll go above here and close another bar this way, and this part will disappear. You won't have any wicks. It smooths them out, but the reason I don't personally like the real Renkos is because you can clearly see there were some prices up in here already. Now see how their price is all the way down in here even? Now for it to actually close down, let's see if we're going to get it right here next to it or if we're going to get it all the way down to here. See there? See how that all disappeared? This had pricing in it right here. all the way up to there. Remember? But see how a Renko actually forms as it's really forming in real time? Okay, so our bars actually do a little different than that. You see the wicks on it. See where this price shows right here at 1204.70. Okay, this actually went up as high as right here at 1205. See that wick? So you didn't even get to see that bar like that. This makes it more like range bars, but still gives you the ability to really trade this pretty nicely. Okay, to give you an example, what if I was to break this little area right here with the close of a Renko bar? Well, we know it's going to close below it right now if it closes, or it's going to close above here, right? Because the body started. Let's see what it does in real time. If it closes below here, I'll just go ahead and add 3. See, it just closed, so I've got 6. How do you get Viper Renko bars, John? They're in your package. They should be. They are very clean, aren't they, Hardy? Yeah, we may even start using them in the room, but if we do, we're going to have to teach everybody. You can't really use the Viper Lightning 1 with them like you can with the 4-range bars, because the Viper Lightning 1 is just simply looking at a bar up and a bar down, and it's drawing those lightning swings. See, there's no lightning on here. Watch, I'll draw Lightning 1. See there? No lightning. Okay? If you look at the 4-range, though, there is lightning from up here, remember? See the difference? High, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low. So your lightning is right here, right that very moment, isn't it? Okay, so that's why I personally like these a little bit better than the Renkos, but I do like the cleanness of Renkos real well. Okay, look how that bounced right off our support again, didn't it? Now this looks to me like it's trying to break down. See, it finally took out all that support. See there? Pretty much trying to break down, isn't it? So what would we do if we were trading this? Well, it broke down a little bit, and I'm seeing right across here as resistance, don't you? So that resistance right there at 1202.30. Why did I take that? Because it was resistance. And it is starting to break down. I mean, that was a clear retracement right into resistance. And all it did is wick it. Now, I got filled a little later. I would have liked to have had it right there, but I've got this thing going 300 times, so it's kind of hard to catch it. Okay. And one thing you can do about this too is you can go ahead and use those little bit larger bar closes to get like out of a trade, to give an example. See, the way these are designed, and we'll wrap here pretty quick, but let me just show you a couple of things about the Renko. Bear with me a second. Let's see, where'd you go? Here we go. All right, just one second. Let me get the Viper one up instead of the Renko here real quick. So you go to your data series, scroll down the list to Viper Hybrid Renko. Now, if you put like a 4-bar size and a 4-bar rollover and put this on a base period value of 1, you're basically going to get wicked Renkos that are like 4 ticks. But you're still going to get that same blocked effect like you do with Renko bars, where they have to break the previous one. And if they don't, by the number of ticks that you tell it here, then they draw these wicks. See, because this should actually, for instance, if this is going to close below this line right here at 1201.50, we should have a bar with a body all the way down to 1201.40. Okay, now we don't have it yet. Or we're going to have one above this one. Why isn't that changing? Just a second. There we go. So it's a little bit bigger for you. Okay, going 300 times, so I can't really speed it up very much. Let's see if we can show that, what it does. I'm going to draw a line. 1201.50. 1201.40 to even 1201.10, because sometimes they'll do one tick difference. Let's see if we get closed right on that line right there. The thing I like about the wicked Rankos is you can tell where the price has actually been. No, it was exactly 4 ticks. See that? 1201.50, 1201.10. See how this one goes like this? Now, if this actually wicks this and it closes, it'll close right here on this line again. Now, if it goes 4 ticks above here, it'll actually close 4 ticks up and you'll have a true bar. Watch and see if it doesn't. If not, you're going to have a wick. I'll go 500 times real quick. Okay, that one looks like that's still wicking. Okay, that one closed up. So see, that's a 4 range bar with a wick. Now, if it doesn't go 4 above here again, it'll close even with this line. See that? Right on the line. Now, if the next one closes, it'll close right here on this line. And if you don't get these wicks, they'll be exactly 4 ticks. Wicks do kind of signal the rollover. Absolutely, Hardy. That's what I like about wicked candles. You know, if you look at this same chart, for instance, on the other Ranko, I'll show it to you real quick. Just a regular Ranko, 4. You'll see a big difference. Just one sec. See the difference in the wicks? Now see the way this one has to do, this either has to, you know, if it wicks or anything, it's not going to matter if it goes up to the top of this bar because that'll be the same bar. If this closes down, then it'll go 4 ticks underneath this bar right here. We're going 500 times, so it should show any moment. See there? And then another one forms, same thing. If it doesn't close down below here and it wicks up into here, this will go all dark after that. I mean, you won't even see it. See where that popped up to here? You don't see it, but this wicked candle did. You can see where it actually had the price. See there? Much better bar. See how that's wicking right there? But if it still closes down here, now it closed above it, so see it's 4 ticks. This one is just wicking it right now because it hasn't closed right here. See how it's wicking? That's why I like the wicks. I think you will too. Let's see, do you recommend using the 441 setup when using? Well, Carl, I've been playing around with different ways on that. I think you need a smaller bar with a little bit more rollover. I kind of like the 2 and the 4 like this, because then each bar is 2 ticks if they don't wick, and the rollover bar will be at least 4 ticks, if not more. Like just right now, to give an example, see this body right here formed? Watch and see when it rolls over. Wicked above. If it closes, see how large the bar is going to be? Right there. See, that particular bar on a rollover was 1201, 1202 even to 1201.50. So that was a 5-tick bar. Okay, that's not a bad rollover bar though. Not a bad rollover bar at all, because you can definitely trade this. See, watch, we'll just watch for a rollover bar and just take a shot at a couple of contracts. It's right at resistance. See the little thrust, retrace thrust, resistance. Going 500 times, so that's as fast as I can go. This is probably not enough of a retracement, because guess where you really want to go with this trade? Where do you think you want to go? I would want to go up here, actually. Trusting the ellipses. See the ellipse right there? Let's turn that off. I'll bet it goes up there. Let's take a shot at it. It's already been to that white one though, hadn't it? Sure has. So we probably won't get it again. It is heading down. Let's try it. We'll just take a bar close to the downside and just see if this works. I don't personally like the larger Rankos to close bars on as much, and I'd like to get my programmer to actually get this to where you could bar close different bar types. There, we got it. Now I'd put my stop just above there just in case, because that trade I don't like. See, that gave up, 10 ticks of the trade before we even got started. Where you wanted to short this was right here at resistance. Haven't got our scalp yet. Still haven't got our scalp yet. There's our scalp. You can always go like to break even or something like that. If they happen to do these larger Rankos like this, just don't let them take out the previous one with the close. Because if it closes, you probably don't want it. But anyway, you can see how that can work. But keep in mind too that everything we've developed with Object Trader will take touches, which is really, really good, because when you can touch a trade, that's support right there. I'm going to take it. All right, you want to see if we get a double bottom on here? That's probably a little risky trade, but let's just see if it'll work, just for the fun of it. And then we'll wrap. We're about 10 minutes over, but let's just see if this trade will work from a double bottom. Now, if it blows through it, it won't fill, will it? And then I can turn it off. If it takes out that swing at 1202, 1200.3, I'll take it off. That's still too large of a bar to do a close on. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Matter of fact, turn it on like that instead, because it could break. We don't need that on or off or anything, because it's bar close. This is telling me now that it's coming down to here. See that ellipse show up? So I'll just sell it. Try to get right down to that ellipse. Hope they're not double bottoming on it. So anyway, Carl, on your question, that's how you can actually, utilize your Rankos. Just play around with the settings and everything. I mean, you can even use a 1 with a 4 rollover. You could use a 2 with a 5. You can use a 4 with a 5. Anything like that. Just so your rollover bar is a little bit bigger than a normal range bar, so that you're pretty sure that it's actually rolling your direction. Just don't go wild with it though, like say a 4 with a 10, because you're going to get a 17 tick bar rolling over. and that's never good. Okay, because you remember you got to put your stops at the swings, right? And to me, until we get a scalp on this, that swing's all the way up here. See there? Now with being Rankos, you can always put it at these wicks. See that? Like that. That's why I don't like these Rankos as much. But you could always put it where if it takes out a Ranko to the upside, like maybe second one back or something like that, you could always do that. Anyway, there's all kinds of fun in trading in there. Hope everybody enjoyed the webinar tonight. Thank you very much for coming, and I appreciate it. We'll do it again tomorrow. Everything should run pretty well tomorrow too. Oil inventory today, oil runs well on Thursdays. All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow morning. Thanks again. Bye. David, I'll have it posted in probably 20 minutes, 20 to 30, just as soon as it converts. All right. Bye now.